Oh, sorry, I was jamming. I'm not gonna lie. That tune is kind of jammy, right? Yeah, it kind of is.
I like it. Yeah.
It's like those TikToks. If you haven't seen those TikToks where they like, I don't know, there's a guy who like does like 90s music and he pretends he's a producer and he's like, yo, what's up? I need a Ninja Turtles like theme song, but not too like slap it. And then it's like, pew, teenage. It's like all like into it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome stuff. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Two Dudes with Attitudes. What's up? For all you young kids out there, if you don't know what that is, they used to have a commercial with people. Yeah, Google
There's a beer commercial. If you're under 21.
Yeah. If you're under 21, don't check it out. That's beer is bad, okay? But anyway, as always, I am MWO, my wrestling opinion. And with me, as always, as he was called today, the MVP of this podcast, Mr. Shooting Star Press. What's up, my dude?
Oh, it's Friday, man. And, you know, we're on episode 14 today. I got my numbers mixed up on the last episode, and this is the conclusion of 7 weeks of this stuff. So it's crazy that time flies when you're having fun. And this has been a freaking blast doing this so far. So
and stay in school, kids. Counting is hard. So
yeah. I know. I was like, wait, carry the one. Yeah. Add 3. I was like, how are we on an even number on like when we started on episode? It was weird, but yeah. So learn to count, pay attention in class. Yeah. You know, all that stuff. Education is key.
And it's Friday, and I just finished a TikTok live, and we were talking about that movie, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you ever seen it, Shooting Star. I don't know if Friday ever hit North Carolina. I'm not sure if it went that far.
100% it hit. Yeah, I love it.
What's up? What's going on, Steve? What's up, my dude? But yeah, man, it's Friday. You ain't got no job, and we ain't got nothing to do. What up, wrestling guy?
How you get fired on your day off?
Man, what you stealing boxes for? You trying to build a clubhouse? Good stuff, man. But what's your weekend look like, Shooting Star? Do you have any plans this weekend? I don't know. Are you
there's
just going to the Olive Garden with the wife? Like, what are your plans?
Hey, I love I love the Olive Garden. The never-ending pasta bowl. When they bring that back, I am there. I am there for the Olive Garden.
I knew you had that in North Carolina for sure.
Oh yeah, we have that. Yeah. We have that and barbecue. So
that's what I was about to say. That.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's not a lot going on this weekend. Nothing really going on in the world of wrestling. So it should be a pretty quiet weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Like Saturday, I'm probably just going to maybe sleep in all day and night and, do nothing. So I think that's psych. What are we doing, Shooting Star? These people are going to believe us. What should we do? What are we doing, brother? What are we doing?
We're going to be kicked off the air. We are going to be having a Royal Rumble watch along tomorrow night, Saturday, January the 28th, for people that aren't watching live. January 28th, 2023. The show goes on. WWE airs it at 8, I think it goes on the air.
That's when the pay-per-view will start. Yeah.
So I think we'll probably go live maybe 7:30, 7:45, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We'll have some adult beverages, and the big thing is we're going to be talking wrestling the whole time. You're going to get our reactions to things. You're going to see us giving our opinions as the show goes on. So it should be a fun time. It's going to be right here on the YouTube. It's going to be on Twitch as well. Come be a part of it. Come join us. And we're a watch along that actually watches along and talks about wrestling. We don't have side conversations about, certain people or certain things. We actually stick to the topic at hand, and we don't know what's really going to happen at the Royal Rumble for the first time in a long time. It's going to be pretty unpredictable. So I'm excited for it, and hopefully everyone will join us.
Yeah, and I know this is AEW Friday, but we gotta plug this Royal Rumble because it is here. And I want to say too, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's also the first premium live event / pay-per-view that we've done as a podcast. So that's why we're talking about it on AEW Friday. I mean, it's been a long stretch from War Games till now where there hasn't been any sort of pay-per-view or event. So I'm excited for it. I really am.
This is the first one in our 14 episodes. You're right.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
Dang, man, they ain't doing any. So the good part is yes, we're gonna do this watch along. We did one before. We did Survivor Series 97. It was a good time. We had only like 6 or 7 people, but it was interactive. We all talked, we joked, talked about wrestling. We would go back about other Survivor Series and talk, and that was fun about it. This Royal Rumble, we'll jump in 30 minutes or so before it starts. We'll all get hyped up. We'll all get our Mountain Dew Dark ready, and we'll jump in, and then before every match, we will take predictions. and we're going to tally it. I'll have a little piece of paper. I'll have all your names. I'm going to tally it, and we're going to see who wins at the end. And maybe we'll get, maybe we'll have some prizes, Shooting Star. We don't know what's going to happen on this thing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it, but we'll do some fun stuff, some predictions. And after each match, I think we're going to talk about it, what we thought. That's what we mean by interactive. We're not just going to be going on rants and this and that. We'll be talking about the Royal Rumble in hand during the matches. I want to hear some oohs, some ahs, what's going on. Maybe we could even do predictions on every single countdown and who's going to come out next.
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna have some fun, man. That's the whole point of it. That's what you want for a watch along. So if you're digging that, if you're watching this live or you're checking us out after because you're at work, join us tomorrow. We will be Twitch. We're not going to be airing it, so you need your own Peacock account. Like poor Shooting Star, he'll be seeing a whole bunch of Geico commercials and Shaquille O'Neal promoting some kind of product while I'm watching all the cool promos because out here in Cali, we premium, son. We don't do commercials out here in Cali. He works with the General, so you get the General in North Carolina too. Okay,
we get the General. Yeah, work with the General and save some time.
You know what I'm going to do tomorrow too, just to rub it in your face. I'm going to get some In-N-Out for dinner. I'll be grubbing on some In-N-Out. I'm having a nice double in my face, some onions, some sauce all over this beautiful beard. I'm going to be doing it all and rubbing in the fact that you're not out here. I was hoping, don't mean to put him on blast, but I was still waiting for Shooting Star to let me know he's coming to Mania with me. But,
hey, I got to,
It's weird because me and Shooting Star are slowly becoming best friends, and I've never even seen him before. So it's like it's weird.
I gotta clear it with the wife. It's okay with me if it's okay with her.
He's like, don't come to Mania, bro. You need to come to a Tar Heels game.
I would go to WrestleMania any day over the Tar Heels.
A Tar Heels football game. All right. But anyway, that's what we'll be doing. If you ain't subscribing, subscribe. You ain't following. You guys are giving us views. You guys are giving us likes. We're steady every single week. I love it. I want to increase, right? We want the mountain to climb, but you guys are staying with it, which is awesome. That means you're enjoying what you're seeing because you keep coming back. But tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your dads, tell anyone you know who watches wrestling. And with that said, do some comments. I want to see some comments. I want to see what you guys think, what we missed, what you liked. When we do our reviews for the week, are we not hitting every part you're thinking, or, should we do recaps and add different things? Should we talk about how good the referees did that week? Are there things that you want us to, improve on? Let us know, because that's what we're all about. Fan interaction. We're not Vince McMahon. We listen to the fans, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yes.
We're the Tony Khan of the podcasting world. We listen to the people to a degree.
Word life. And with that said, it is time for AEW Friday, and it is Rampage. And man, this Rampage was meh at the best. As my boy MJF says, it was mid. Best show going. Look at Wrestling Guy. I got to say something. I text Wrestling Guy outside of here. Yes, another guy that I'm really close with that I'll probably never meet. He needs to come to Mania too. I wish my whole posse would come to Mania. Y'all doing me dirty. Here's the thing, right? Y'all come to Mania in California. I swear on my life, I'll go to WrestleMania in Philly next year and meet you all out there. I think that's a fair trade there. I'll tell my wife she has no say. She don't listen to this podcast, so she ain't ever going to hear this. She has no say. I'll put my foot down. I'm the man. I make the decisions.
That's right.
I don't even have access to my Chase bank account, but that's my money. I will do what you heard me. I will do it. But anyway, I will go all out Chicago. Oh, like AEW, is that what he's saying? AEW?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, we could go.
Dude, I would love to go to a Chicago event, man. They look rowdy. All right, let's set it up, Wrestling Guy. I'll be there in Cali. Look at Steve, my man. He gonna see me. I don't know if this was the dude because everyone's names changed from TikTok to this, but once again, too, at Mania, also, if Live Zone's there, or Live Zone, what the heck? If Shooting Star is there, if Wrestling Guy is there, what the heck? What world am I in? Shooting Star is there, if Wrestling Guy is there, I apologize. I just want to apologize live on air. I don't know how. I think it's because I kept saying live, and it just popped in my head.
Yeah.
But that was embarrassing. I apologize on my behalf. That was disrespectful and utterly disgusting. But anyway, yeah, man, if anybody's there, I want to meet everybody, all Wrestle Talk community and this and that. I want everybody to be there. Same guy from TikTok. What's up, my guy? I think there's going to be a lot of people there in Hollywood. I know everybody wants to go to Philly because the entire Wrestle Talk community is in the East Coast. But I'm telling you, this Hollywood thing's going to be dope, man. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably mad
Yeah.
at me now. You're like, don't
No.
talk to me. Don't
No,
talk to me. I'm
no,
old,
I
dude.
don't.
My brain only works so
Hey,
good. I won't say it's because we were talking off the air. But anyway, continue.
it's all good. It's all good. But no, we're excited about WrestleMania. And I want to talk to my wife and see if I told you, as I told you the other day, I don't ask her. I tell her.
Ooh, she
I'm
don't listen to
going
the podcast either.
No, yeah, I say I tell her I'm going to WrestleMania if it's okay with you. so,
Here's the
we'll
biggest
see.
sell, right? Here's the biggest
Yeah.
sell, right? You just got to get a ticket and you just got to pay for airfare because I already told you I got that guest room. That's where I do my guest
Yeah.
room. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna be there. We can share we can do this together. We'll be right next to each other. It'll be awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I already got a bed for you. I'll feed you. I'll let you drive my Tesla. It'll be good times,
sweet.
man.
Yeah,
You're gonna have some fun. You're gonna have some fun. It drives itself. I mean, I'll let you pretend you're driving it. You can be like that little kid when he has a steering wheel and you're like, look at me, I'm driving, but actually it's driving itself. Just kidding. I'll let you fully drive it. But anyway, all right, y'all, let's jump in. I don't know what the heck I'm doing today. It's because I had some more. This Orange Cassidy shirt got me tripping. So yeah. And I'm slowly trying to fade away from that comment I made, trying to my best to make you forget it. All right, AEW Rampage review. Let me start off. I'm such in a good mood. We're all happy. We're hyped up. And then I'm going to start off my Rampage review with a negative. Are you ready? Why not, right?
Yes.
Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. Now, I'm all for supporting new people. And I know Willie Mack's not new because he looked to be about 62 years old. And I think he's been in the game for a while, supposedly. I don't know. I don't know every indie wrestler ever. But why would you have Brian Cage have a match before he has to wrestle Bryan Danielson to basically put a hurting on him and hopefully win, wink, wink, and have him have a competitive match? Not only was it a competitive match, I would give like at 50-50. I think Willie Mack had like 50% of the offense in. Brian Cage, I thought, looked weak AF, and I was mind boggled at the fact that it didn't need to be a straight up squash. You could have had, Brian Cage come in, put some work, have Willie Mack like help for a few, and then have Brian Cage come back and knock him out. But it was like, they cut a commercial in this match, I think. I think Willie Mack was like putting in the work. I have no idea what the hell was going on. I was so confused. Joey Mack, what's going on, man? In the house. I was so confused. What say you? Am I off on this? Should we have had Brian Cage look this weak? Because when they wrestled, which we'll get to in Dynamite, I was kind of like, well, whatever. I mean, he just got beat up by Willie freaking Mack. Like, how is he going to beat Bryan Danielson?
Yeah, it was weird. I do like Willie Mack. I think Willie Mack is talented, and I think AEW.
So you know him?
I've heard of him. I've seen him. I think he was in Impact before. I think he was Willie Mack in Impact, if I'm remembering correctly. And I know he's been on some of the other places, but yeah, I think he's good. I think he's talented, and I think Tony Khan should jump at the opportunity to sign him. I mean, you can never have too many big guys who can move in the ring, so why not pick him up? But yeah, this match just felt random. It felt like, oh crap, we haven't had Brian Cage on TV in a long time, and now he's got to break Bryan Danielson's arm, and to get the fans to care about him, we have to put him on Rampage this Friday so people can see him in the ring. Kind of a try before you buy approach to Brian Cage. So it was just, it just felt weird. It felt odd. Willie Mack had 50% of the offense. It made Brian Cage look weak. And honestly, I thought that I completely forgot that there's a 6-man title in Ring of Honor too. That was something that I know Brian Cage is carrying that title around. I completely where are the other two guys? I haven't seen them. Like, I don't understand what's going on. But no, I thought it was a okay.
Who are the other two guys? Do you know? We gotta start Googling. I know this is a live podcast. We gotta do our homework.
I know. I don't know who the other two guys are.
Willie Mack was good in ML. Okay, and he was on Impact. All right, my man. Thank you. That's why I like live audience.
He was in the tag. That's what Rich Swann. He teamed with Rich Swann.
Thank you. Okay, now I remember him.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He was good. He was good, and he can go in the ring. And I think AEW should jump at the opportunity to pick him up. But yeah, I didn't care for this match. I didn't think that it was necessary. I didn't think that They needed to have it. And again, I think it made Brian Cage look weak going into his match with Bryan Danielson. Now, if he had gone in there and squashed Willie Mack and just easily handled him, then yeah, I could have gotten down with that, because then it made him look unstoppable, and it would probably make Bryan Danielson a little more nervous about the match. But yeah, this match was what it was.
Yeah, and I agree. And so, would you have rather had him wrestle anybody else and just straight, like, I'm against squash. I mean, squash matches are unnecessary, but they do have places. And I think this was the moment, right? Have a nobody come out, have Brian Cage beat the bananas out of him, do a Wardlow thing where he does his finisher maybe a couple times, like hits it, pins him, moves him, like lifts him up, does it again, like built him up, right? So at least you can go into Dynamite thinking, okay, are they, because Brian Cage, I mean, he's threatened. I mean, the dude is ripped. The dude has good hair. The dude has a good look. The dude can go in the ring. Like, why not? Because then if he just demolishes a guy, then at least you can say, hey, okay, maybe he will break Bryan Danielson's arm. Like, he's not going to win, obviously, but maybe he will put in some work. So I was upset with that. And this is nothing against Willie Mack. I know I sounded rude by saying I didn't know who he was, but to Willie Mack, yeah, but he could have also wrestled somebody else to look better, right? He could have wrestled on Rampage they could have had a squash match and have Willie Mack wrestle somebody else and look that good, is what I'm saying. No offense to Willie Mack. I just think Brian Cage going into what he was going to wrestle in a Dynamite should have looked better. Wrestling guy here says, Tony has always made Brian Cage look weak. I'm not going to disagree with you. Yeah. And Brian Cage is money, dude. I'm telling you, there's not many guys that look like him that can go like him. So I agree.
Yeah, I've always said that he's one of Tony Khan's probably his biggest missed opportunity in AEW, because he is money. He's got the look. He can go in the ring. He would be a credible champion, but for whatever reason, Tony Khan just won't pull the trigger on him. I don't know why. But
maybe Tony Khan's like the opposite of Vince McMahon, because I mean, Tony Khan did Wardlow dirty. He's doing Brian.
Maybe he doesn't like the chiseled abs and
the because he's never had it, because he's like a 4'8" like rich nerd who got bullied his whole life. He's like, you used to give me wedgies. That's what you get for sticking my head in the toilet. And Wardlow's like, I never stuck your head in the toilet. I'm a legit nice guy. So maybe I don't know.
But no, yeah, I do agree. I think what they should have done was have Brian Cage wrestle a nobody, and then he breaks the nobody's arm, because that's the whole story going from Dynamite. You know, MJF paying him the bounty of breaking Bryan Danielson's arm. So he goes in there and squashes some nobody, breaks his arm, and then grabs a microphone and cuts a scathing promo on Danielson saying, on Wednesday, this is going to be you, Bryan Danielson. It's over, or something like that. And then,
let's go.
Then he hits his finisher one more time to the guy who just broke his arm.
Yeah.
And then he walks out of the ring. And I think you make him look strong. It makes the match more intriguing with Bryan Danielson. Yeah, I agree. I thought Willie, as good as Willie Mack is, I think he got too much offense in, and I don't think they should have wrestled each other. I think Willie Mack would have been great against anybody else.
Yeah, let's go, TK. Sign my dude. My dude. Let's go.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the Eddie Kingston, whatever the heck that was, the heel turn, I guess, if turning on Ortiz, hitting him with the steel chair. I'm glad to see Eddie Kingston having a rougher side to him. I mean, he's always had a rougher side to him, but now it seems like if that's what it was, it seems like he's going to be turning heel and feuding now with Ortiz. And I'm okay with it, because I feel like they don't really have anything for him to do in AEW. So why not have him feud with Ortiz? So I'm curious to see where they go with that. I was disappointed on Wednesday when there was no Eddie Kingston at all to be seen. So I didn't understand why they did that, but we'll talk about that when we get to Dynamite. But yeah, I thought the Eddie Kingston, but I also don't think the moment went over very well. I think it was, he hit him with the chair twice and then just walked out. I think fans were confused, because I was confused. I was like, okay, is he going to go back in there and beat him up some more? Is he going to go in there and hit his finisher? Are they going to brawl? But no, he just hit him with the chair twice and then walked out, and that was it. And it was just kind of an awkward ending to an awkward segment.
Yeah. I think, I'm not a big Eddie Kingston fan. I don't buy into him. I don't get him. Nothing against him. If I met him in real life, I would high five him and tell him thank you for all that you do because I appreciate and respect all wrestlers. But
Mhm.
I don't get him, and it's so funny because the homeboy said literally you're like a fake tough guy, and that's how I've always betrayed Eddie Kingston, as a fake tough guy. He's just some like that dude ain't tough in real. Stop. He
No.
doesn't look tough. He's not tough in the ring. He's not tough in real, like, because you're from New York and you like, you've been on the streets and you fought and this and that. Dude, I'm from Cali, bro. I know all about tough guys. And I mean, we got Watts and Compton out here, Long Beach. Come on, bro. Death Row Records. Come on. We had Tupac. I know about tough, and New York. Get out of here with that. But in all realness, like, I never have seen him. Ortiz never caught my attention. I believe Santana can. You know what? And where the heck did Santana go? But anyway, I agree with you. I have nothing against Ortiz, but the segment felt weird. It felt like they didn't script it. Like, I don't think they like even planned it beforehand. I think they just thought yo, we're cool.
Together.
Right? Yeah. Like, because they were like stumbling over words, didn't know what they were going to do. The crowd, and Eddie wasn't reacting properly. Like, he even talked about his family, and Eddie was like, hey. It was like really, and like, why'd you bring the chair? He like wasn't respond. It was a really, I thought it was just a miss all around. And then he hits him with the chair. And I think what the point is that was supposed to be like, I love you, but like, shut up. But you don't do that with a chair. You do that with like a fist or a shove, or like when you go to the chair, that means you mean business, right? Like, if I'm mad at you, Shooting Star, I'm going to be like, yo, like get out of my face, or yo, like whatever else. I'm not going to hit you with a chair. That means I'm like, no, Shooting Star, we're done. Like, two dudes with attitudes is over. I hit you with a chair. I throw you through the barbershop window. Like, a chair shot is like the end of the romance, right? It's not like that's what I think they were trying to go for. That's why he just walked away and didn't come back, because it was supposed to be like you crossed the line, boom, boom. Why did I do that? And then he left. But maybe you shouldn't have brought a chair to the ring. I don't know. It all felt flat to me, and I don't think anyone's looking for that. I'm seeing some comments people are throwing out there. Oh, he has a knee injury. Thank you. Once again, my greatness is that I don't watch and listen to dirt sheets. My downfall is that I don't watch and listen to dirt sheets because I don't ever get any info. So I appreciate you guys out there. Two of you right now, just let me know. Get well soon, Santana. That's why. That makes sense. I do miss Santana and Ortiz, but yeah. But I like Ortiz. I like his new hair. I like that he's growing it kind of like more flatter. It wasn't like once he shaved his head. I dig in. I like him. I'd rather have him beat Eddie. I don't get Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry. I'll just end it there. But yeah, I agree with you. I hate to bend over and wait for the chair across the back. He did, right?
It's
that
telegraph.
is,
you're
it
telegraphing it. Yeah.
The whole thing, like I said, I think they didn't plan this before. I think they just thought they could just go out and do their shit, and it didn't work.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes letting the wrestlers write their own stuff isn't the best for you. You need to, I'm not a big fan of creative teams or writing teams, but sometimes you just need somebody to nudge you in the right direction. And I think that was an example. You needed somebody to nudge them in the right direction.
And I love that you said that, because that's what Freddie Prinze Jr., who I'm a big fan of, that's what he said when he wrote for SmackDown all those years, was that I didn't write for The Rock. I didn't write for Cena. I didn't write for these people. I wrote for the people who needed it. And I never wanted to write them complete dialogue. It was always bullet points and a draft of what you can do, and then take it. And if they needed it, then I would give them dialogue, but not everybody needs it. In this situation, they needed it.
Yeah, could have used it.
100%. And now let's move on to AEW Dynamite. And I'm going to leave you with the good moments. I didn't even write down these moments in my notes because I thought you would want to pick it, because this was an emotional Dynamite, right? So to say, and we'll get there. I want to start off with Darby Allin. So I have always been a big believer of this pillars of AEW. I've done my pillars of who I think and so on. I've gotten flack for what I think my pillars are. I throw Britt Baker in there. I throw MJF in there. I even throw Sammy Guevara in there because I like him, although I don't like watching him make out with his girlfriend all the time. I would subscribe to their Mandy Rose OnlyFans if I wanted that garbage, but I don't. So I don't want that garbage. But it's always, Jungle Boy or Darby Allin, right? Jungle Boy or Darby Allin. And I love Jungle Boy because he's Luke Perry's son, and I'm not gonna lie, I was born in 1980, and my hero growing up was Dylan McKay. Dylan McKay was a character in 90210. He was literally the coolest high schooler ever. He was 48 when he was a high schooler in that show, but he was a high schooler nonetheless. He was a surfer. He drove a Porsche. He lived in a house by himself. Sometimes he lived in a hotel by himself in high school, y'all. But his name was Luke Perry. He had a son. His name was Jack Perry. He is now Jungle Boy. Rest in peace to Luke Perry. I'm not even going to lie. He died, like 4 years ago? I was like in my late 30s. I cried like a baby. Luke Perry was my boy. So I always like Jungle Boy over Darby. What I'm getting at is I got to give some respect to Darby. I have given him some crap on this podcast because his finisher is the lamest finisher in the history of the world, as Shooting Star Press has called it, a trust fall.
That's all it is.
Yeah. It looked a little bit stronger this week, but dude, this guy is, my shirt right now is Orange Cassidy, right? And in honor of Orange Cassidy, I've been drinking some orange juice, as you can tell, because I'm a little bit more live today than I normally am. I keep saying that word, but I'm doing my thing with this orange juice. But nonetheless, Darby Allin has been defending this belt like Orange Cassidy, and I love it. I love it. It's like the IC and the US title in WWE. They're getting so much more utilized. That's how secondary championships should be done. This TNT championship has never felt more important, and I'm including Cody Rhodes when he had it, and Miro and everybody. I mean, this belt feels important. I think Darby has defended it sometimes twice a week, but every week nonetheless. And I think he's defending against the people he should. So we were kind of talking about who he's defending it with. It's like random people, but Buddy Matthews, that's a TNT title contender. Like he can't be wrestling main eventers. That's not who's going to be going for the TNT title, right? I like who he's wrestling. He's getting wins. He's getting them dirty. He's putting in the work, and the announcers are pushing it. AEW is pushing it properly, where they're saying like he's worn out. Like, wasn't he getting like shouldered by the ref on the way out of this match?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it's that's storytelling, man. This guy is like proud of the belt, defending it constantly, and getting his ass kicked because of it, and putting his body on the line. I am loving it. I think it's awesome. The only thing, Darby Allin, Wiccan says, Darby Allin needs a new finisher. The coffin drop sucks. 100%. And with how his body is, his body type, he's small and skinny. He can do a different finisher. Even if it's some kind of like modified DDT off the top rope or so, I mean, something. He needs to do something. Or do like the Jeff Hardy, like, you know, Swanton, anything. Like he needs to do something a little bit more powerful. Do the elbow drop. But anyway, the only thing I didn't like about this was the end. I did not want to see Samoa Joe back on my screen. Where did Samoa Joe go? I thought ROH, I've been so happy with AEW keeping I hated that ROH was literally main eventing all the time and always in my face. This is AEW. They now have created an ROH event, and now they're bringing them back again. Like, if he's going to lose, that's not going to help your ROH brand. If he's going to win, that doesn't help the AEW. Well, why bring you? You had branched away, move on, and in walks Samoa Joe. And that's not a dog on Samoa Joe. That's just, we don't need them to wrestle again. What the heck's the point? Shooting Star, you feeling me or not? I mean,
no, I've always said that they should be defending the TNT championship regularly. And what Darby Allin is doing is what Wardlow, for whatever reason, never did, or even Scorpio Sky. Like, they've been playing 50-50 with this title. Even Samoa Joe didn't defend it all that much.
Did Wardlow ever defend it?
I don't. One time against Samoa Joe. And he got the mess. He's still selling the haircut, the haircut of doom.
Dude, that haircut was brutal, man. He's going to be out for 6 to 9 months.
But so my question, but I agree. I like that. What they've been doing. I do like that they've been telling stories with Darby Allin, because, you know, his reasoning for wanting to go against House of Black was because he felt that there was unfinished business there, and that, you know, that's a throwback to, because him and Sting were feuding with Malachi Black and Brody King and all those guys for so many matches on Dynamite and at pay-per-views and everything. And the one person he never challenged and never took on was
Yep.
Buddy Matthews. And so I kind of like that they told that story, and I like what they're doing with Darby. I like that they're defending the TNT championship on a regular basis. I wish they would do that more with the TBS championship with Jade Cargill instead of putting her in tag team matches all the time.
I love Jade
But
Cargill though, but yeah.
yeah, I do too. I love her, and she's undefeated, but she needs to defend that championship more.
Mhm.
So she needs to, read a chapter out of the Darby Allin book. But honestly, I didn't care for Samoa Joe, and you were asking where he's been, and my question is what was he doing? Because he was so sweaty in that segment. Like it looked like he had just competed in the match against Darby Allin. He was like drenched in sweat. Like did he just come out of the sauna to cut that promo?
He was watching Cops. I'm gonna do another movie reference.
Okay.
That's Step Brothers, y'all. If you don't know, he was watching Cops.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, he was drenched in sweat, and I don't know what he was doing. And it also looks like he's getting that cheesy king gimmick. He's keeping the king gimmick, but he's no longer the king of TV. He's just the king. And I'm just
the
not
Burger King or the
yeah. Right, I'm just not a fan of that. It just feels gimmicky, and I don't like it when WWE does that. When they just because they win King of the Ring, they have to become King Corbin, King Sheamus, King Xavier Woods. They become King this, King Barrett, King Bad News Barrett.
Don't need King Booker.
King Booker, yeah, the best one of all. But yeah, just to keep a king gimmick now because he's the king of TV. I don't know. It doesn't feel necessary. It doesn't feel. I don't want to see these two guys go at it again. I want Samoa Joe on ROH TV because he is the ROH television champion, and that's where he needs to be. And I'm okay with them sprinkling in guys from ROH occasionally if it makes sense to the story. But this just doesn't make any sense, and I feel like it's going to lead to a match probably at Revolution between Darby and Samoa Joe, and I think maybe that's when we get Wardlow back and they resume that feud. But I don't know. I didn't need to see it. But shout out to Darby Allin for putting that championship on the line on a regular basis.
I agree with all of that, and Darby Allin's doing his best work. So cheers to Darby without Sting too. So yeah.
So yeah, and moving on, I wanted to talk about Brian Cage and Bryan Danielson. Despite what happened on Rampage, I actually thought this was a pretty good match. We already kind of knew the outcome, though, because we know Bryan Danielson's not going to lose. He's not going to be losing between now and February. But what I really liked was the post-match beatdown that Brian Cage gave him. That's what he should have done to Willie Mack on Rampage, was just beat him down back after the match and break his arm or something like that. I like MJF coming to help Brian Cage and go after Danielson's arm. I like that he's paying the bounty and doing all of that. My only thing is right before this match, we saw a segment with Hangman Adam Page and Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta is in the Blackpool Combat Club. Why did nobody from the Blackpool Combat Club come to the aid of Bryan Danielson when he's taking that beatdown back afterwards? Why did it take Takeshita to come out there and help Danielson and give him the save? I know why they did that. I know why they did that because they've had Takeshita's had his beef with MJF over the last few weeks, and it makes sense in that regard. But where is is Danielson still part of the Blackpool Combat Club? Because he just teamed with Moxley a few weeks ago on Rampage against Top Flight, so obviously they're still doing their thing. But why did Claudio's not? He wasn't doing anything. Why didn't anybody accompany him to the ring? Why didn't anybody come to his aid? I don't know. Why did nobody? So that has me a little confused. What is Danielson's place in the Blackpool Combat Club? Is it even still a thing? But other than that, I thought it was a really good match, and I'm more excited about it now than I was before. And I like the MJF that we saw. The MJF that was, he was pushing over he like destroyed the time bell or the bell afterwards. He knocked over the cameraman and he pushed people out of the way. He put his title on the table. That's the MJF that I like. The one that just does not care about anybody, doesn't give a crap. He just does his thing, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see the MJF, the devil, but I'm but I'm also the monster or whatever he's been. Like we don't need to see that. I want to see just MJF who doesn't give a shit and go out there and kick ass and but also still be the chicken shit heel that he can be.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know he was Lady Gaga. He's a monster. Here's the thing. Lady Gaga shout out. These people are like,
yeah.
Lady Gaga. I'm glad you brought up 2 segments because I had one of these in it. So I'm glad you brought it up. So let's go into Brian Cage, Brian Danielson. Brian versus Brian. I enjoyed the match as well. I thought it was pretty well done. Brian Cage I thought he looked better in this match than he did against Willie Mack. I don't know what the hell the booking was for Rampage. Made no sense. Who's this? Rocky Winner 99. Hello, I'm new. What's up, Rocky Winner? I'm glad you're on here.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Jump on this, brother. I like you. Welcome. Enjoy our podcast. We're doing a Royal Rumble watch along tomorrow. Jump on it, dude. Thank you. But I like the match. I like the result. I like that he attempted to break the arm and then MJF had to come out and kind of finish the job and include him because he paid him. I liked all that. You're talking about beforehand with Heyman and Mox. I wanted to say that backstage segment surprised me. I did not envision Hangman versus Mox 3. I thought Mox was on vacation now. I thought he finally got his long.
I know, poor guy.
This is what I get for the one time I listen to a dirt sheet. It tells me Mox is going on vacation, and this is why I don't listen to dirt sheets. Obviously, he's not. Thanks a lot, Dave Meltzer. But anyway, so I'm all for Mox versus Hangman 3. I want to throw that out there. I'm all not for Willer Yuta losing again. Willer Yuta's a champion, just so you know, in ROH. He's about to lose a Hangman on Rampage tonight. I don't understand what the hell's the point of just having Willer Yuta lose all the time. It's mind-boggling to me. But I agree with you. Brian Danielson is 100% in the BCC. Why did nobody come to his help? I don't understand. Maybe they didn't need him to because he cut that backstage promo about my shoulder, doctor. Why ask the question if you're just going to tell him to go F himself? Doctor, can I wrestle? No. F you.
Yes, I can.
I'm not going to, I'm going to do whatever I say. I don't care what you say, but I'm a doctor. I don't believe in science. I'm out of here. I'm a vegan. And so he goes and runs away. And then we got Cops comes on at 4. Wrestling Guy, 35 minutes later. Thank you for the Cops reference. But then we got MJF, right? I have to mention this because we're talking about it all. You added it all. MJF comes out last week and cuts in a lot of people's opinions, a racist promo. He did like a straight, like offensive thing to the Asian culture and whatever else, yada, yada, yada. Then he starts off his promo this week with a Nazi reference, and it kind of threw me off guard. I love me some MJF, and I'm all for it, but he was straight like, this ain't the first time the Jews have been, told to like follow line with people with blue eyes, and I was like,
yeah,
like
I didn't pick
holy
up on that,
crap, bro! Like you just made a Hitler reference on TBS. Okay, let's like move. Did you not catch that? I mean, it was
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
He started off his line with saying, it's not the first time the Jews have had to listen. Quote, I'm not going to say quote unquote because I forget how he worded it, but it was basically, it's not the first time the Jews had to listen to somebody with blue eyes. And it was like, referencing Brian Danielson, telling him to, I don't know, because he was cutting a promo in like a dark lit. It caught me off guard. But everything after that was back to old MJF. We had just discussed this last Friday, that we need heel MJF. Yeah, that line surprised me for sure. Hambone says, I agree. I was like, I actually rewound a couple times because I don't watch it live. I watch it pre-recorded, and I was like, did he really say that? Like, they cut the Acclaim line last week because he said like the S word, but they let a Hitler line go in. It was really bizarre. But anyway, I do like MJF, how you said when he like tore the table down. I have to say that girl, when he like knocked the shit off the table, that girl looked a little like that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
The girl who was standing there was like, what's happening? I'm just an intern. It looked really scary.
It's my first day.
Yeah, exactly. But I loved it all. MJF did his thing. I do agree with you. Brian Cage should have done what he did there on Rampage, and he didn't. Obviously, we've already talked about how he missed it on Rampage, but I'm all in. I'm excited for Bryan Danielson and MJF to finish them off and move on to somebody else. So yeah, good
Yeah,
times.
yeah. I'm ready for this 60-minute Iron Man match at Revolution. Yeah, Revolution coming up in March. It's going to be a 9-hour pay-per-view. So I don't.
I
It's,
can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Are we gonna do a watch along? We're gonna do a watch
Probably.
along of
Yeah,
that.
we're going
My
to
wife's
start at.
gonna be
We'll start at 2:00 Eastern time.
My wife's like, yeah, you can do the watch along. What time is it between? Well, as soon as the kids wake up until the kids go to
Yeah,
bed. Um,
yeah,
it's my turn, right? All
yeah.
right. So I want to talk about. There's a couple things I wanted to. You know what? I'm gonna talk about Hook and Jungle Boy.
Okay.
When they put Hook and Jungle Boy together, I was a little upset, only because I believe in Hook and Jungle Boy as single stars. And I was like, here we go again. We got Hookhausen, we got Hook Low, we got Hook Taz, we got Taz a Hook, we got Hook of the World, we got a Hook with everybody. Why are we putting Jungle Hook together? I skipped on the shirt at the AEW live event that I went to. I kind of regret it now. I am all in on Jungle Hook, Hook and Jungle Boy. I am all in on it. I think they make a fantastic tag team. This match was a little bit meh. Ethan Page and Matt Hardy didn't seem in sync with them, but I'm all in it. I think they can be the next to challenge, or if not in the future, maybe even beat the Acclaimed eventually. I think they are an awesome team. I think it makes sense thinking about it because Jungle Boy has been a tag team, person for a while, and Hook really, does he have, like, what belt is he going to win? Because he's so small. I like seeing the two little dudes building up to beat other people. Ethan Page also was money. I know you love Ethan Page.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He might need to hit the gym for a second. I don't ever body shame anybody. I love everyone and their body types, but Ethan Page is looking a little bit, he's doing his life choices. Matt Hardy, though, I want to add in on this because I want you to tell me if you like Hook and Jungle Boy as a tag team, and can they go for the tag team titles in the future? But also, are you thinking Matt Hardy has been coming out to the Jeff Hardy theme song, right? We can say that's Jeff Hardy's intro song, right? That's not Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Matt has literally never come out to that song. I don't understand why all of a sudden now Matt comes out to Jeff Hardy's song. He came out to it on Rampage. He came out to it on Dynamite. He's getting bullied, but he's like accepting the fact that Ethan Page is bullying him. So, 2 questions. You ready? Ready, Shooting Star? I missed what Patrick said. Are you going to, A, are you all in on Hook and Jungle Boy as a tag team? And B, is Jeff Hardy returning soon? Is that what we're hinting at? And throw out Patrick. What did Patrick say? You were super, all caps, set on the scissor me daddy ass at the live AEW events. Yes, sir, I was. Yeah. All right.
But go. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, I am 100% in on Jungle Boy and Hook, Jungle Hook. I've been a huge fan of Jungle Boy.
That's a good name, right? Jungle Hook?
Yeah, that's a cool name. It really is.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a, I like Jungle Boy when he was with Luchasaurus. I think together the Jungle Hook they can feud with Top Flight. They can go after the Acclaimed. We can wait for Christian and Luchasaurus to come back, and they can resume that tag team, resume that feud, and insert Hook into that. And because Hook likes to take on the big guys, and he just body slammed Big Bill a couple weeks ago. So imagine him in the ring with Luchasaurus. I think that could be a fun time, a fun thing to see. So yeah, I'm all in on Jungle Hook. Give me more of them. I'm glad that they weren't a one-trick pony or a one night of tag team or something. I'm glad that that they're going to be hopefully a long-term thing. I am all in on Jungle Hook. And yes, I do think Jeff Hardy's coming back soon. I think this is AEW's way of telling us that Jeff Hardy is on the way back without telling us that Jeff Hardy's on the way back.
Right.
Yeah. So
I agree. I think he comes and makes the save, right? What's Hambone saying? I mean, it was the Hardy's theme long before it was just Jeff's. Was it? I don't know. When I think of the
I think of Jeff.
I think of Jeff and only Jeff. I also think of when Jeff came out to that and like didn't save his brother. He like just did like the dance for like 20 minutes before he came out. He was like, dude, this is a jam. Who wrote this? Oh, I did. Shit, I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta go. I gotta go.
There's a match going on.
Yeah. But I don't ever, I remember Matt coming out to tons of different music, never that, but to each its own. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Jeff Hardy, I think they are teasing a Jeff Hardy comeback. And I think if they are, I'm all for second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances. I'm all for it. I just hope Jeff Hardy is in a good place mentally because, you know, once again, mental health is so important to me, and drugs and alcohol and things like that can lead to bad mental health. And I think Jeff Hardy, I hope when he comes back, he is in the right state of mind and ready to come back because he's a great entertainer, but I want him healthy first. So yeah, I hope if he is coming back that he has accepted that he is at that point and ready to do it because he's had maybe 5 or 6 chances, correct?
Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean WWE had a couple of chances, TNA he had multiple chances, so AEW he's had chances. So yeah, hopefully he comes back and his mind's in the right place and he's healthy. So that's all I care about more than him wrestling. I want him to be completely healthy and, you know, free of his demons. So shout out to Jeff Hardy, North Carolina boy. And then I want to talk about the women's thing right before we talk about the main event. The Toni Storm and Ruby Soho match. I'm actually I got to give you credit because last week we were talking about the Saraya heel turn and how it kind of felt like it came out of left field. And you said that, or we talked about the lack of baby faces in the women's division. And you said, oh, well, maybe it'll turn Britt Baker face and Jamie Hayter face and it'll keep them together and they won't necessarily have to break up right away. And, you know, this week, it looked like there was a Britt Baker face turn. She came out and distracted her. It was just her music. She didn't do anything. She came out and stood on the stage and distracted Toni Storm. She did the DMD, and then that alone caused a distraction for Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho took advantage and pinned her 1, 2, 3. And so it looks like maybe we have a babyface Britt Baker on our hands, and maybe that means we have a babyface Jamie Hayter on our hands to go against these, whatever they're calling them, with the outsiders or the ex WWE girl. They don't have a name. I don't think they've called them anything yet.
They're trying, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying, but yeah, I'm liking it. I think there's enough pieces in play there to tell a good story from this. You know, where are Ruby Soho's allegiances, because she was in the WWE before and now she's in AEW, and her promo before the match made it sound like she's team AEW all the way. She wants to help the homegrown stars, but will she eventually turn heel and go over with Saraya and Toni Storm? What's going to happen with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter? Or, you know, are they what's their relationship going to be like in this? Is one going to be a heel, the other one's a babyface? You know, what's going to happen there? Who's going to join them in their quest to take on the ex WWE girls or whatever they're going to do, whatever they're going to call them? So yeah, I think there's enough pieces in this to tell a good story if they use it right. My only gripe is that it still makes the women's championship just feel unimportant, because we're not talking about who's going to be the next women's champion. We're going to be talking about who's going to take out Saraya and Toni Storm.
You better watch it. Yeah.
I know.
Well, this is history, everybody, on Two Dudes with Attitudes. Shooting Star has never given me flowers. It's about
he was right.
Damn time.
It's about the time you were right. Yeah, it's about the time you were right.
Yo, I used a Lizzo song. You don't get to use a Lizzo song against me. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I was right. No, that I like where they're going with this. I think Tony Khan and everybody has been listening to everybody complaining about past WWE stars coming to AEW. Why not use it, right? This is the way you should use it. Other than like constantly bringing up the WWE and bringing up, look who plays with B-roll saying, look who plays with toys again. Finally, somebody noticed my Roman Reigns on my microphone.
Roman Reigns.
They acknowledged him. So if you can see about right there, that's my son's War Games wrestling ring. That's 2 cages with the wrestling ring. You can see the Fiend up here a little bit. So I thought I would add it into my
Nice.
shot today. My son's a non-wrestling fan, hates it, doesn't pay attention, but he has 60 wrestling guys literally in his War Games cage. And so I grabbed the Roman Reigns and put it on my mic because why not? I'm, just using things. Yeah, that shot's not that good. You can't see it as well as I was hoping. What's Hambone saying? Ruby will turn heel and join Tony and Saraya. Okay, so Ruby's, yeah. Oh, okay. And then Britt, Willow, and Sheeta will be the faces. Jamie will have her own feud. Okay, possibly, yeah. I'm down with that. Good job, Hambone. I'll give you props. I'm not like, shooting star. I don't give flowers when they're deserved all the time. But anyway,
y'all can't be right all the time,
unless you're me. But yeah, so I agree. I thought it was good. I was super disappointed though. I was so excited for Soho, Tony, and Britt, and then they like opened up instantly, and there was only 2 people. And they're like, Britt's injured, and I was like, damn it. I really wanted to see Britt. Then I got to see her come out, and I liked the interference. I don't know if she was really injured or they did that on purpose. I have no idea what's a work and what was a shoot, but I liked it. I was a little confused with Ruby winning. Like, what happened to Toni Storm? She was just the champ. Now she's jobbing to Ruby. Ruby was literally losing constantly and not on TV, and now she's like winning all. I don't know what they're doing with the women's. Maybe they're trying to build them all together. Yeah. You win, you lose, whatever. But the Ruby win was kind of weird. What are they doing with Toni Storm? But I'm all for it. DMD is face now, B-roll says. I agree. Dr. Britt Baker.
She got a huge pop.
WO. Yeah, of course she did, bro.
Yeah.
Of course she did. She's Britt freaking Baker.
I think she would have gotten that even as a heel. She would have gotten that big, massive pop.
100%.
But still, I think when she came out and distracted Toni Storm from in the match, I think fans cheered even louder. I think it was an even louder. So I'm excited to have a babyface Britt Baker.
So. And I'm excited where this is going. It's about dang time TK is paying attention to the women's division. So, and before we go into our segment, B-roll is saying, but Tony alone lost because of the distraction, right? I mean, yeah, I agree with you. And I did think this did make like I said, Tony look weak because, I mean, she should be winning. She just lost the title. I mean, she shouldn't be jobbing this much.
Yeah, she was just champion not too long ago.
But, yeah. And she had an awful championship run. So,
yeah. But yeah, let's talk the main event just real quick. And then
all right, we do need to do it. You are right.
So, yeah, I mean, it was an emotional main event with Mark Briscoe taking on Jay Lethal. Kudos to Mark Briscoe because his brother just died 2 weeks ago, and I didn't think we would ever see him in a ring, at least for the foreseeable future. And here he is, and he put on a great match. It was a really good match with Jay Lethal. Kudos to Jay Lethal for doing that as well, because that couldn't have been can't be easy for either of them, and especially Mark. But I wasn't ready when Mark Briscoe brought out both of those tag team titles. That's when it really hit me that his brother Jay Briscoe is no longer here. I was like, oh crap, he's got both titles, and there's only one of them. And so it was an emotional moment. It was an emotional moment, and I give Tony Khan. I know everybody likes to give Tony Khan a hard time, but I got to give him credit for this. I got to give him credit for putting this match together, for going to because last week the big complaint was that Warner Brothers Discovery prevented forbade, whatever the past tense of forbid is. They did not want Jay Briscoe to be honored on AEW TV because of some tweets he made 10 or 11 years ago or something like that. And Warner Brothers Discovery was adamant about that. And a week later, they changed course. And I think that is because of some pushing from Tony Khan. And my respect factor for Tony Khan jumped up significantly. I think he genuinely loves every wrestler on that roster. I think everybody makes fun of him because he hugs them all and he's dapping them all the time. But he's like a kid in a candy store with his action figures. But he or kid in a toy store, not candy store, but kid in a toy store with his action figures. but yeah, but I think he genuinely loves every wrestler he has on that roster. I think he genuinely loves the Briscoes, and I think he fought to get the Briscoes honored on TV, and I got to give him credit for that. So kudos to Tony Khan. It was a great way to end the show. It was a great main event. It was a great match. Kudos to Mark Briscoe for being able to do that, and kudos to Jay Lethal for doing his part. And then the entire AEW roster came out. You saw Adam Cole, you saw Bryan Danielson up there, Samoa Joe was out there, Matt Hardy was out there. Everybody came out to pay their respects there at the end, and I thought it was a great way to end the show and to honor Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, well said. I got to give it to TK too, because it was really well done. It wasn't like overly done. It wasn't underly done. It wasn't like thrown in your face. It wasn't made the whole episode. It was just, you had that. They had a video about him, which was like, crying mode. And then then they just had kind of the end and the main event and what they did. I don't know how Mark did it. Even when he talked to the camera after the match, I mean, he seemed all there, and good for him, right? Good for him to be able to, I don't know, grieve in his way and to have that match. And this is the kind of match I've always wanted out of the Briscoes, right? No blood, just a good damn wrestling match. And it made me even sadder, because I'm like, dang, this is, the Briscoes could go. And it's sad that somebody so young and so tragically, I don't care the way it happened or what happened, it's just so sad, 100% that he is not here. And for Mark to do that, and poor Jay Lethal, because I don't know if he was asked, I don't know how it happened, how he became in that match, but he looked defeated before he even got to the ring. And to have a 30-minute match, 25-minute match, for around there, 20,
something along that. Yeah.
I mean, good to them. And afterwards, the AEW roster though looked a little small to me. I was expecting like a huge, like, I'm like, oh, the AEW roster is all going to be out here. It barely even fit that screen. Yeah. I was like, was that everybody? I don't know. I felt like there's more people in the roster, but you saw TK there doing his normal hug weirdness, but in the end, it was such a beautiful moment. Good on AEW, good on Tony Khan, good on Mark, good on, Jay, good on everybody who played a part in it. Bravo. That's how you pay tribute. And it was beautiful. And I hope those shirts get sold. And I hope his families can do the best they can with this loss. And I mean, good on them, because he's an ROH talent. I mean, he's technically not even AEW talent. So for them to do that was beautiful. Same thing with NXT when they stopped their television to have the announcers give props to him too. It just shows that, there's competition, and AEW and WWE, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, they're a family, and we're all a community. And I love that. And I love to see people paying tribute when it needs to be done. And thank you, TK. Good on you, and well good said. On everybody. So
very well said. Very well said.
And on that, let's go to the overrated, underrated segment. We are doing a new segment, and it is where me and Shooting Star Press are going to talk about overrated, underrated, or properly rated, right? So you know what properly rated means. It means that they're rated where they need to be. Yeah, right? So I'm going to give my definition really quick on this. So overrated to me means that nobody likes it, but it is really good. So, or no, overrated. That's underrated. Underrated means that nobody likes it, but it's really good. So it's underrated, right? Overrated is everybody thinks it's phenomenal, but it's really not, right? Like John Cena's career. That's overrated, right? People love it too much. It's meh. Underrated is Shawn Michaels' career, right? People are like, he was here, but it's the greatest ever, right? So that's a perfect example. Take that, Santi. Of overrated, underrated. Shots properly. Fired. Yeah, let's get back, Santi. Come on, I ain't afraid of you, bro. Let's get back, bruh. But anyway, so we're gonna start this segment. We're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna have some serious questions, some not so serious questions. It's all gonna be AEW related. Let us know what you think of this segment. And we are going. I'm surprised you didn't have a theme song. Let's start with.
I wish I did.
Let's start with Shooting Star Press. What's your first one? Let's go. Bring it to me. Let's do it.
All right, I'll do one. So earlier in the night on Dynamite, we saw the team of Ethan Page and Matt Hardy lose to Jungle Hook. And during the match, we saw some of Matt Hardy's mannerisms. He was doing the delete thing with the audience. He's been teasing this for a few weeks on AEW Dark with some of the stuff he's been doing with Ethan Page and some of the disagreements that they've been having. And it looks like Matt Hardy might be trying to bring back that broken character. So I'm going to leave it up to you. The broken Matt Hardy, is it overrated, underrated, or is it properly rated?
Oh, you're going to start hard, huh? I got an easy one for you.
Yeah, we come out hot here.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's so difficult because it worked so well on Impact. Mm-hmm. It worked so wrong on WWE. Yeah, and they haven't really done an AEW other than his delete. So with that said, people love it so much. I'm going to have to say it's overrated. I'm sorry. Only because it only worked on Impact. It didn't work in WWE and people like worship it. I get that he started the Bray Wyatt character in a sense because he kind of did it first, right? It was him, then Bray Wyatt, correct? Started to try to do that like weird. Yeah. But I still got to go overrated. I'm sorry. I have to. Fans are going to destroy me on this because I know people love Matt Hardy and that broken character, but it didn't work in WWE, which means it didn't work in the overall majority of the fan base. So I will go overrated. I love you, Matt Hardy. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to go easy on you. You ready?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Overrated or underrated? Aubrey Edwards' hotness.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
You want me to send you some close-ups of her face? Come on.
I need some reference. I'm gonna say underrated. I think she's fairly attractive.
All right.
I think lately she's been pouring it on with some of the makeup she's been wearing, and I think that's, I don't know. I think she's an attractive girl. I do, but I could do without some of that makeup. I don't think she needs to put that makeup on. I think that makeup just kind of makes her, it takes it too far over the top for me. But I think looks wise, I think she's pretty underrated.
She got a body.
That she does.
All right. You're up.
Hambone doesn't like that. Yeah. Neither does.
Oh, Hambone, not digging him some Aubrey. Okay.
Neither is Wiccan. Okay.
Ooh, all right. So you're in the under. Okay.
Yeah. People. All right. Okay. But no, I mean, hey, I like what I like. All right. I got you one.
All right.
The kendo stick as a weapon in wrestling, in AEW in particular. We saw it a couple weeks ago with Sheeta when she brought it out and to use it with Toni Storm and Saraya, and it was Hayter and Britt Baker who grabbed it. And then this week we saw it on Dynamite when Ortiz came out and used it on House of Black to save Sting. So what do you think? Is the kendo stick as a weapon overrated or underrated?
Dude, you're doing me so dirty. I have like 7 on here that are like fun and easy, and you're like hitting me up with where people are going to attack me on TikTok. Gosh. Okay. So I'm old, right? So I was watching ECW with Sandman. Like this was like his tool of choice, right? He would hit everybody with the kendo stick, and it was so dope, and it looked like it hurt. And then I realized that the kendo stick doesn't hurt at all. The whole reason why they use the kendo stick is because they like use it to the sense to where it's just going to sound really good, but it doesn't really like put that hurt in them like a chair or anything else. But in the long run, you know what? I'm going to try to stay face here. I'm going to say underrated. I'm going to say it's underrated. It gets used a lot, but it doesn't as much as it used to. And I like the kendo stick. I like the sound of it. I like the way it looks. You can swing it really hard so it looks like it's really painful. And some of the times it leaves those marks, right? It leaves those marks where if you're like into that like 50 Shades of Grey stuff with your girl and you hit her a little bit, the marks aren't there later on. It's like that kind of thing, like a ooh, ouchie. Yeah, I'm gonna go with overrated. Let's see what my homeboy says here. Overrated except when used by the Sandman, Steve Blackman, or there you go. Yeah. So I started with Sandman, but I'm going to go underrated. I'll go underrated. It makes, let's see what Wiccan says. It makes sense for some wrestlers, but there's no reason for it to be under the ring, at least. Yeah, I agree. But I'm still going to go, I get it. I get it. All right. Let me see. Should I go fun or I have so many? All right.
Yeah. Give me one. Challenge.
All right, I'll give you a hard one. All right.
Right.
The JAS. Overrated or underrated? People ain't feeling it. People are feeling it. What have I become now that I've betrayed?
Overrated.
Oh, yeah. Why? You got to explain yourself on that one.
So I love Jericho. I think Jericho is phenomenal. I like Daniel Garcia, and I like Sammy Guevara. I think they're all three talented stars, and I think they're all good guys. Jake Hager, I think he doesn't really do much for me. And then the other two guys, I don't even know their names. And they just feel unimportant, and they never wrestle, they never do anything. They just come out there in those goofy costumes, those goofy like Backstreet Boys attire that the pop 90s pop band attire that they like to wear. So I think as a faction, I think they're overrated, but I think Jericho's greatness with continuing to evolve and change his character and stay relevant, I think that's highly underrated.
All right. All right. I like the pant rip on this last week. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, underrated. All right.
Yeah.
Really never seen any of those after photos on kendo stick shots. I mean, their usage is overrated, but doesn't hurt. All right. Yeah. All right. You're up.
All right. So me, let's see. We did that. I don't want to do that one again. Let's do swearing in wrestling. Do you think swearing in wrestling is overrated or underrated?
So overrated. I'm so over it. Jericho did the middle fingers again. I think I touched on this last week. Middle fingers are so 90s. That was Eminem and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's move on, people. We don't need to be throwing middle fingers up all the time. It's so stupid. We're past that. We can do PG-4. We can do rated, TV 14 and not have to throw middle fingers up and say bad words. I think I was raised by this. I don't know if my father taught me. I don't know who taught me, but when you have to swear, it means you don't know what to say, right? You're not intelligent enough to get your point across. So you have to say the F word to kind of emphasize your point. I don't buy into it. I'm over it. I think we need to stop with the potty language on TV. MJF does it here and there, and I'm like, meh. But yeah, man, we don't have to drop the F-bomb all the time. I'm past it.
I think I'm
past it.
Yeah, I think it's overrated, but I think you can make exceptions for it. I think like Brian Danielson this week, he said he dropped the GD, but he was mad. He was in a fit of rage, and you could tell he was cutting a passionate promo, and he let out a GD, and I can let that slide. But the Rick Ross stuff, like, hey, you a big motherfucker, like that kind of stuff, like I don't think that's necessary. Even the Action Andretti stuff a few weeks ago, where he was talking to Sammy Guevara and saying that his girlfriend was at my house last night, that kind of thing. Like that's just childish. And I know that's not really swearing, but it was, it's that childish, high school stuff. So
I agree. And remember, kids watch it, right? We watch this with our kids. So
yeah, of course.
All right.
Of course.
I'm up again. How many more you got? I
got a couple more.
All right, cool. All right, let's go. All right. MJF scarf. Overrated or underrated? MJF scarf.
That is completely underrated. That is a good looking scarf. I love that scarf. Yeah, I love and MJF pulls it off. Like I tried to.
He brought it back.
Yeah, I tried a Burberry scarf on. My wife got me one not too long ago, and I look like an idiot in it because I'm just not a scarf guy. But I think it's completely underrated. I
I
think
wore it
that
to the event. Yeah,
yeah,
continue.
I think it's completely underrated. I think it's you know, he looks good in it. He's also he's made the title out of Burberry,
Mhm.
so I think it's really underrated. I think his scarf is what made him his character. I think a lot of people know. If you don't know MJF, you may know him as that guy with the scarf, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about now." And so I think
Facts.
it's absolutely underrated.
All right. All
So
right, hit me.
all right, let's see. Um, okay, here's a good one for you. Um, Mystery opponents or mystery partners? Overrated or underrated? We
I'm
like to
gonna
be
go.
surprised, but do we want to be surprised all the
Yeah,
time?
but mystery opponents are so. I'm gonna say overrated. They're so lame. I like surprise, like at Rumbles. I like surprises like that, but the mystery opponents, it always is like. Do you guys remember when we thought somebody was yeah, underrated? It's who he is.
Yeah, the scarf.
All right, all right, all right. But I think they're just. I don't dig them. Who was the one that we just saw recently? We thought somebody was gonna make a comeback joining a tag team. It was Hit Row. Yeah, we thought it was going to be Carmelo, and it ended up being Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, Shinsuke.
That's where
Yeah,
I'm getting at. It like ruins me on mystery opponents. It never
we just
is.
yeah. In
Yeah,
AEW, we just had the other way too, where everyone thought Soraya's mystery partner was going to be Mercedes Monet, and she came out the week before and said, "Hey, it's going to be you, Tony Storm," and nobody believed her.
and it
And then
was
it was
legit Tony
yeah,
Storm.
it was
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
or it's Hornswoggle. So yeah, I'm gonna say overrated. I'm bored by it. I'm bored by it. I'll
yeah,
say overrated. It's a hit or miss. Agreed, Wiccan.
yeah.
All right, this is my last one or not. I'm gonna go hard. You've been hitting me with hard.
All right, let's go for it.
AEW pay-per-views.
Oh man, underrated. I think they're underrated. I think they're long and they need to shorten them up a little bit, but I think the majority of them are completely underrated. I think All Out last year, 2022, was a decent show,
Mm-hmm.
but all we remember is what happened with CM Punk and everything that happened afterwards. You know, double or Full Gear this past year, where MJF won the title. That was probably their best event that they put on all year long. It was a really good card from top to bottom. Revolution last year had Punk and MJF in the dog collar match, and you know that was another solid event. But yeah, I think they're a little long, but I think they're highly underrated. I think if you watch them for depends on what you're watching them for. If you're watching them for story, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you want to see good, solid wrestling, then I think they are highly underrated.
All right. All right. You know how I feel. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Hambone thinks
yeah.
they're properly rated, which
Okay.
yeah,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would lean more towards overrated, only the fact that they give so much to their dynamites. The pay-per-views just feel
yeah.
like a more important dynamite. They never feel like a pay-per-view.
And
Um
I will say, paying $50 for a pay per view, that's also highly overrated. I don't want to do that every single time. I know that that you have to you got to do what you got to do, and they only do the pay per views quarterly. But still,
mhm.
$50 per pay per view when you can get it on WWE stuff on Peacock for $7.99 or
Yes, sir.
with commercials, it's $4.99 or whatever it is I'm paying
Yeah.
for. Yeah, so I think that's a highly overrated. You should like they got to get on a streaming service. They really
I
do.
agree. And your version of Peacock isn't free with your
Oh
commercials? I
no,
don't know.
oh
Yeah, they
no,
don't just
I
give that to you.
pay like $2.99 or something to get
Yeah, of
that.
course you do. Of course you do. You only get WWE. You don't get any of the other Peacock
Yeah,
sitcoms. All right. I think we did an even amount, right?
I think so.
All right,
I think we all
perfect,
did it.
perfect. And that was overrated, underrated. I think that was fun. That was
Yeah, that
like
was
one of my
fun.
more fun segments. You know what I mean? Other than when I destroyed Santy on the wheel of HBK, I think that was
Yeah,
my
that's a
second
segment
highlight.
of the
So
year. Yeah,
all right, all right. So that is it, man. That's AEW. As always, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all of you on here doing comments, letting us know what's going on, what we're doing right and wrong, your opinions. Tomorrow, we will be 7:30 Eastern time jumping on to the Royal Rumble watch along. Add us, come on, talk. We'll be doing predictions beforehand, recaps afterwards as a group together, talking all things Royal Rumble, trying to predict who's going to come out next. It's going to be a good time. We'll have some Mountain Dew Dark on there. We're going to be doing all things that. It should be a good time. Tune in, subscribe, follow if you don't. As always, I'm MWO and Shooting Star Press.
Yeah.
Let's end it with you, brother.
Yeah. So like you said, join us tomorrow night. We may do some giveaways. We may have some stuff that we're going to give away to everybody. So come be a part of it. Should be a fun time. It's our first pay-per-view as a podcast. So I'm stoked about that. And yeah, come with us. Come with us.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let us in.
That's right. All right, everyone. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow, guys.
All right. Have a good one. And we're out.